You're watching this week's show with Dann and Mike.
This week's show podcast. And apologies if I look a little bit bleary-eyed. We decided that a gig far from home last night was a really good idea, and we had an amazing time together.
We did.
Yeah. Make sure
Hands up if you busted your neck watching Hatebreed last night. I can't get my hand up, my neck is seized, that's why I'm sitting rather upright, but it's to be expected. I'm a guy of a certain age, the same age as Jamie Jaster, who was bouncing around the stage last night like there's no tomorrow, and I was bobbing my head and getting pushed from side pits.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is gonna hurt.
Make sure on that note, for things relating to that gig, you check out our social media to see Mike get very involved with the Ball of Death.
Yes.
As well as we are dropping, before probably this has even gone online, the interviews that we did with Wayne from Hatebreed and Joel from Killswitch Engage.
They were good interviews.
Very good interviews. I did Joel, but the interview of the moment is Wayne with Mike. And if you want to find out what it's like to have brain surgery and literally the very literal second that you're allowed to go and do things, you hop on a plane and go and play a brutal tour with Hatebreed, then you need to watch this interview.
There's a bit in the interview where he goes, yeah, the doctors say try not to headbang so much. You're going on tour with Killswitch Engage, you're in Hatebreed. Good luck with that.
But absolutely stunning performance from not just Hatebreed, I mean...
all four bands.
Decapitated were fantastic, Fit for an Autopsy. I think that's the first time that I've ever been in a place where I can watch start to finish the whole thing and really like imbibe it. Yeah. And that was really fun. And of course Hatebreed was amazing with all of the extra bits that they do these days.
Smoke machines or smoke blasters that Killswitch didn't even have.
No.
And, they had a giant inflatable on the back of the stage over the drum kit as well,
they
a bit
did
like
as well.
Trivium did.
Though that was Killswitch's extra walkway, which I thought they utilised quite well as well.
Yes.
So there were different things to both bands.
Killswitch, no amps, no guitar pedals, It was all fractals and in-ears.
Yep, well, to be honest, when you're trying to contain the energy of Mike D, Jesse and Adam D, because Joel's like kind of like the chill stringsman that just...
Yeah, he was just on our side and like noodling away,
whereas
giving us a little, I see you in the crowd, boys.
Yep, whereas the other three guys, like, you just can't contain them. Like,
the bass player runs a lot as well.
Yeah, I don't know how they don't run into each other more, but I think it's because in times past, if you're a big Killswitch fan, you'll remember when Howard Jones was swinging a microphone and he swung it straight into Adam D's face, and then a fan drank the blood off his face because that's just the type of weird stuff that happens at metal gigs.
And what did it taste like, Pat?
No, I drew blood from a member of Killswitch by accident, yes. That's
also,
on a
I think
podcast.
the trick is that they know that Jesse is stand still, static when he sings because he's got to get all that power out through his voice and can't waste it in his legs. Yeah. So they run around whilst he's kind of that.
That was quite good. Very good Jesse impression.
It was, but when you look back at it, it does not look. Perhaps blur that bit out.
Possibly. But shout out as always to all bands for being super inclusive of everybody in the crowd, making sure the crowd knew that everybody was welcome.
Oh, there's a bit, wasn't there? There was a bit in Fit for an Autopsy where they just stopped halfway through the song, and the singer was like, I'm not going to start again just on someone putting a thumbs up saying that people are all right. You know, if we need to clear people away, they now have to do a wall of death. Just move out the way, let the first aiders in.
Which is exactly what happens. Also, massive shout out to Depot as a venue, from security to design to everything.
It's first time there, not the last time we're going to go there. I'd quite happily pay a ticket to go there, because it was a sellout show and there was room to move around if you wanted space, or there was room for pits, and there's some good vantage points to get some really good footage and photos down the front if you want to. It was
room for you to not move 1 inch, and then for somebody to keep crashing into you to then tell you that you're making them uncomfortable. I was like, I haven't moved. You are literally making yourself uncomfortable. Yeah. I haven't moved. I can't move. I am pressed up against a fence. But fortunately, gigs are gigs, and so it will resolve quite nicely in the end.
We all had to sing song. It was great.
Exactly. But yeah, make sure you check out our reels on social media, because this boy right here has put together some of the stuff that he managed to film yesterday, and you'll understand why we love Depot by the end of watching that. And then, like I say, we got a link to MJRS Plus One, which is our interviews only channel.
And whilst you're down there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you'd like to check out some brand new music, our radio show's down there that's updated every week, and it's full of new and upfront sort of tunes, gossip and info about new albums that are coming out. We are even playing tunes now from albums that aren't going to be out until February 2026.
Which is pretty incredible.
And that's all on the Mike Jones Rock Show.
And we, even this week, with one of our friends, we went proper radio old school, and we were able to play a track that wasn't actually like out on streamers. From Seething Akira.
Yes.
Yeah, they went old school, gave us as radio presenters a chance to play something early, so the only place in the next few days you can check out the latest Seething Akira track is on our show.
It's a good cover as well.
It's a fantastic cover.
Yeah.
Cool, so
what else did we do this weekend? It was a packed weekend. I got tattooed again.
Of course.
Something big happening. Was it 3 nights in Perth for the wrestling?
3 of the most rowdy nights. Maybe France was as rowdy with the swearing as Perth, Australia was, but we couldn't work out what swear words were coming out of France, but we definitely could work out the swear words coming out of Australia.
There was definitely some very loud English terminology for self-gratification going on there.
It's something that rhymes with tanker. But they were just so vocal, but it was brilliant because it was exactly what they wanted from the promos that they were doing. They wanted that response.
But also, I've only been watching wrestling since it's been on Netflix because I'm cheap like that. But I've noticed that when WWE is so-called overseas, because they're not in America, the crowds put the Americans to shame. I'm throwing shade on American WWE fans, except for the big stadium, like
WrestleMania. But also, part of the reason that they're losing the sound on those ones is because they're often open top stadiums in America.
Yeah.
So some of the sound that is captured about,
But even the arena shows like Raw and SmackDown, they make a noise for an entrance. Da, 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 and they do all that, but whilst the games, match, fights, whatever you want to call them, the tickle sessions.
I think Vince banned that one.
What, tickle sessions? Yeah, that's a bit naughty, isn't it? But whilst they're actually going on, people, the stateside audiences just seem to go, ooh. It's like watching a fireworks display in the rain, whereas you come to the UK, you go to France, you go to Saudi Arabia, and there's chanting through the entire game. Now, I don't know if that's because, especially in the UK, we're used to soccer games, which are 90 minutes long, and there is chanting from half an hour before the game until the last person's on the tube on the way home.
Well, I was going to ask, is there chanting at American football games?
Yeah, there is. We've been to some, and that was even in England.
True, but that's often organised by, do you know what it is?
It's the cheers.
It's the cheers, and it's up on screens, whereas we just come up with our own. But he is right, it does come out of what we call football, you call soccer, Americans, which is fine, it's the same thing either way. But we do chant for 90 minutes straight, and it's quite often the reason why football players have quite a thick skin, because they have to play at a high level, a competitive sport, whilst people are potentially sort of baying for their blood.
Yes, obviously we don't like the racism in it, and we need to stamp that out completely. But
the referee is a tanker.
Yeah, I was about to say, the Aussie fans have obviously got it in for English football referees. All the same thing.
I still remember one of the first Raws, years ago in the Daniel Bryan era, just after CM Punk had left, is they did do a Raw in the UK. And at that point, football chants just came, copy and paste it into a wrestling event. So they did the who are ya, who are ya, and then there's other words that I don't like saying, so I have to beep them out when I do the post-production.
But I've watched post-Crown Jewel Raw, and the chants for WWE I've noticed It's the same song, different words.
Oh, what, like Cody Rhodes?
Roman Reigns, but now it's Bronson Reed now.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Well, you take us to Bronson Reed. We're calling it now, and Bronson, buddy, hope you see this, because in the best, most positive, most uplifting, body positive way, you are Bronson Reed now. We don't need the big, because, dude, like the quickness that he's got since shedding some weight, and the confidence, here for it.
And he's wrestled, did he wrestle SmackDown? Yeah, 3 nights in a row.
Yeah. So,
and with the time difference.
The funny thing is that he obviously is the Ozzilla.
Yes.
So they got him out on so starting a Crown Jewel at the beginning. Love the fact that because it didn't actually have a host in the ring, they got Rhea Ripley to be like the
hometown queen,
like the videographer host.
Yes.
So she did the starting introduction, and you can see why, because she's so popular, obviously in her own country.
Same with Bronson.
But that's why you got first match, is they put both the main Australians on the roster in such a prominent position.
And I've noticed another thing with WWE.
Yep.
If you're playing your hometown, you win. Although Rhea, well, we'll come on to that in a bit.
True, and I think that could be not a knee-jerk reaction, but that could be to try and break some tradition from before, because a certain CEO of wrestling would often do the opposite, where he would make the English person lose in England, or so on and so forth. So now they're mixing up, so you don't know necessarily whether it's happening, but you've got to put enough wins on the hometown person first to break the trend. But you did mention Big Bronson Reed. It was the first match, and
only the second person to pin Roman.
Only the second person, but what a stunning match. Like, you can tell when, Roman will work with anyone, and he sells for pretty much everyone. He's such a good, company guy like that. But the push that him working with Bronson is giving Bronson at the moment, because Roman just sells everything like he's been straight up killed. There
was lots of Superman punches, and they just some of them just didn't have any effect on Bronson. It's like, come at me, bro.
But Bronson, even after the slimming down of excess weight, he's still this is the same thing that with Rock and Batista after they slimmed down for film roles. Because I've seen both of them talk about it in interviews. They are still 6'5" by pretty much 6'5" shoulder breadth. They're still huge units of humans. Mm-hmm. So Bronson Reed, in a way that smaller wrestlers, even somebody that little bit smaller like Seth, he can do the no-sell really, really well. So he can take a Superman punch, but because he's such a big bodied human, whether or not he's lost weight, it just works for a character like that. It's when you get somebody like Rey Mysterio trying to do a no-sell, that doesn't work quite as well.
I would be quite interested to see if the Bronze turn on each other, to see if Bronson Reed can take a 200-mile-an-hour spear from Braun Breaker.
I mean, I think that you've actually gone into something I was chatting to Heidi, our manager, about, is we reckon that one of the ways that the Vision storyline continues in different ways is at some point, before you get a Braun facing Seth, the Brons are going to have a showdown between the two of them. And of course,
when in a cell, that would be a good one, wouldn't it?
They normally do that to end feuds, so okay. But I'll be quite happy with a cage match between those two, because I'm not sure, I'm not pulling any details from my mind whether Braun Breaker, I'm not sure if I've seen him do a full 10-20 minute in a cage yet, and I would love to see.
Bronson did, because he got handcuffed, didn't he?
That one, yes, but Braun, I'm not so sure. But I was watching, because I do watch other wrestling podcasts, mostly Chris Van Villay, and there's a wrestling expert, I can't remember the name coming to me, but they're saying that they're doing such a clever slow burn with Braun Breaker, because he is already main event level with his athleticism, his selling, his making things look crazy, that bit where he starts twitching his head. All of that stuff just works so well on a character build, but he's going to be the man that they build the company around once we get the Romans and the Seths and the Codys all taking either a step back to retirement, or Cody's going to go into a Roman schedule or something like that.
Well, those three are all going to be in films.
That too. But no, I can see why they're getting him to work so much with Seth and Paul Heyman, because it's not just an on-screen management thing. Look what Paul Heyman, and you only see the end result, but he changed Roman Reigns from being the big dog character, which was kind of over, like people liked him, to the tribal chief that everybody just adores. And he doesn't even have to be a good guy whilst he's doing it. He can be shades of heel, shades of face, and he's still just beloved. And that is a very big Paul Heyman thing. But did you notice that they're starting to sprinkle seeds of dissent into the Vision now? Because Paul Heyman was saying to Seth, if you don't win this, then we're all going home. And then, like, I love the bit where Paul Heyman's talking to the Bronze, and then Bron just says after, he's like, but what if Seth doesn't win? And then Heyman comes back and he's like, and then we go. And then we go. So...
Wait till you watch Raw.
There we go.
No spoilers, but
wait till I watch it.
That opening 10 minutes.
So we covered it anyway, just to finish off. Obviously, Bronson Reed got a pin on Roman. It looked great. And it's just raising Bronson Reed up so high at the moment in his stature, because if you can have a believable match against Roman Reigns and Roman's doing the Roman thing of selling things like an absolute unit, then you can't help but go, oh, that's a good match for Bronson as well. Then we had, this is not necessarily in order because it's just the way that we wrote it down. The next one we got on our list is Asuka and Kairi versus Io and Rhea, which was everything I kind of expected it to be.
It's a grudge match, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I like the sort of insight into culture that this is giving us, because in the sort of recaps and the promos for the match, they're explaining what Asuka represents within her culture to Kairi and Io, and why it's so devastating for Io to break away from it.
Yeah, because she's kind of like, almost like a Paul Heyman type, that she raises people up and pushes them into world championship status and things like that. You know,
but also is a
mentor,
but completely and utterly crazy.
Oh yeah. If she doesn't team up with Bayley, then there's bad writing, I think. That'd be, two complete nutcases.
True. Also, shout out Bayley. Saw you on a couple of podcasts saying how sort of demotivated and uninspired you were feeling. This current run, what you're doing, the mix of hugger and role model and everything in between, absolutely loving Bayley's current craziness.
Again, wait for Raw.
Wait for Raw.
Oh, man, this is only the second time I've been ahead of you.
I'm normally ahead, so he has to celebrate it.
That and the fact that Raw was on at lunchtime and I managed to watch it live today.
Well, for once...
Because of the Aussie time difference.
And you had the day off, whereas because I'm kind of known for taking a good few days off here and there. Mental health. I say that like I'm joking, but it is often for my mental health.
I'm so glad I did, though. Post Hatebreed, shoulder and neck ache, but... The thing is, the day before, I spent a couple of hours painting the ceiling in my bathroom. So I was like up like that for a few hours, going dip, dip, paint, kind of thing.
And it sucks, right?
Well, I was okay. Like afterwards, it was the headbanging the following day for 6 hours to metalcore.
and then also for us, it was a good 2.5 hours back in the car as well. So straight out of the gig with sore feet and sore neck, and then just crunched up in because I got a tiny car, and it's the one that gets past the congestion charges. So we, us two, not so small males, then have to fit in a tiny little hot hatchback to get home. I got to move on. Obviously, Io and Rhea won. That was kind of expected, I think. I'm not sure what they would have done if the other ones had, because they'd been on top for too long anyway. But it's the match that we have next on our list that both me and you were chatting about before we were recording.
It's been billed now as the greatest match of this year.
AJ Styles and John Cena. Oh my God.
One with only a few weeks left of his wrestling career, one with only a few months of his wrestling career.
Maybe like a year or two if he decides to extend much longer. But
AJ said he's going to be out by the summer.
There we go.
He's an old man as well.
True, but we're also talking about two faces of two separate companies, because you had the face of WWE and John Cena, and then the face of TNA. What built TNA, the house that AJ built, is like putting those two together. And we even said this before we started. It was the note pass to the ring announcer.
That was nice, wasn't it?
And you can see, like, obviously AJ wasn't too worried, but John Cena does have a sense of humour. So he could have done something a bit tongue-in-cheek and a bit silly. But what I love is that, I can't remember everything he said, you're just going to have to watch the event for what John actually said, but there was one point in particular where AJ just genuinely went, oh, dude, nice.
I don't think he was expecting it at all.
No.
He thought, oh, they'll just do the normal winner of this and,
It's scheduled for one fall.
And then, John goes, just read that out.
And because it was also after his long ring announcement of the Never Seen 17, it put a lot of focus on AJ as well.
The GOAT.
And I got to be honest, it took me a while because I didn't know AJ's history. I was like a lot of wrestling fans for a long time that I just largely paid attention to WWE. And then getting to know AJ and watching him work as I've become a much more serious fan over the last few years, I got to be honest, I absolutely love the guy. Like, no storyline is beneath him. If he's got to put on a silly outfit and pretend to be like an EMT
Yeah, he was the janitor at one stage, wasn't he, for getting inside Dirty Dom's head.
Yeah, and like people, wrestling sort of fan pages were complaining about it, going, how are you misusing it? It's like, look at how much genuine fun AJ is having.
Yeah.
And then the payoff is, he did some stuff to wind up Dirty Dom, which was fantastic, because Dirty Dom is just good value. But then the payoff to that, within the same year of booking, is he gets one of the very, very, very precious retirement matches of John Cena. So all the people that were complaining that Logan Paul got the match over AJ Styles, it's actually the other way around. AJ Styles is one of the ones closer to the finish.
And where's Logan Paul now?
And where's Logan Paul? He's taking his break currently from the WWE like he always does.
He's a free agent.
He is a free agent.
Which probably means he's just on a beach somewhere drinking Prime.
Not jealous of you at all, Logan.
If you want some beef, you can send it our way.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, what would be a massive thing is I would love it just with absolutely no prep, that somehow Logan Paul gets hold of our manager, says, oh, I'm in the UK, how about I just turn up to a recording after these guys have talked a bit of smack about me? I would genuinely love that so much. It would make my year for a random wrestler, but particularly Logan, because I've got so much respect for him with the way that he started with a lot of controversy, but he's worked hard to get past it. He does a lot to inspire younger generations, which I don't think a lot of people of our age necessarily realise.
He is a TikTok wrestler, as they say.
So I am a driving instructor, so I teach a lot of 17, 18-year-olds in the UK, and it's quite amazing how many people of that age range have the varied opinion of him, but a lot of people are like, well, he proves that if you work hard and you actually put in the time, because the only reason that he's doing well in the WWE is because he spends so much of his time practicing.
Oh, yeah.
And like I say, not the start of his career being an inspiration, but I think he's a good inspiration to people as to what you can become if you learn some humility and humble, which he had to.
You're more than welcome to come to our podcast studio. No, I can't see him. In actual fact, I'm looking for Joe Hendry. Said his name.
Said his name. Door's not opening. Joe, you've let us down. But no, one of the other things that we've got to talk about from the AJ Styles and John Cena match is how much love, because I was wondering if you would pick up on it, and you realised at least 4 of, I think, the 8 moves that John used to pay tribute to other wrestlers.
I didn't know the actual moves as they happened, but it was when the Michael Coles and Barrett was like, oh, Walls of Jericho. It's like, oh, that's not his move, that's someone else's. And then he goes, Tombstone. It's like, that's not his move either, that's someone else. It's like they were paying tribute to all these different wrestlers that they obviously couldn't wrestle in their final games.
That's what this is. Particularly for somebody like The Miz, who got the first of John using other people's moves, the show-stopping finale, is one of The Miz's main promo points is I beat John Cena at WrestleMania. And they didn't have time to get John Cena on a match with The Miz, but to show that level of love. And what I loved is I think there was just a collective moment of speechlessness due to respect, because the one that genuinely made me a little bit emotional was John paying tribute to Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace, Bray. Because those guys worked incredibly well together as 2 very, very different type of opponents, and it is well known that they had a great working relationship. And for John to just straight up make it, and it was the knowing sort of smile and taking that little bit longer to execute the move, just so everybody could breathe in what he was doing first.
I've just realised there is another match that we haven't written down.
Is there?
There must have been a tag team game because the MFTs turned up with their awesome new face paints, all 4 of them.
Yeah. And Tama Tonga, is back. And looking very different.
Well, yeah.
Not just the face paint, but boy is hulked out a little bit, looking like even more of a unit. But it was the beard and the slick back hair. They had to tell me who it was because I genuinely didn't recognise him.
Yeah, because he came on with with the face paint on, but he had a hood up first, didn't he?
Well, even when he took it down, the beard, I was struggling to make it look in my mind like the guy I remember stalking. But then when he did his slide across the ring, I was like, yeah, that's him.
But yeah, that gave it some sort of. They looked more coherent with all the face paint on. They looked like they all belonged together instead of just a bunch of tattooed up Samoan-ish looking guys and Solo with his silly blonde hair trying to be, because he always looks like that through his eyebrows. It's just like, I don't buy into how
scary he is.
Yeah, the other 3 or 4 or whatever, I buy into them being a collective, but having Solo as the head man, it's just like.
Well, it's again, it's harking back to previous things long before either of us got into it. But like Rikishi was very similar, and it's very much like that's the boss is somebody that looks like Solo. But I agree because on a lot of pages, and even sometimes I had to admit that I felt that the MFTs were just a little bit flat.
Bit gimmicky.
Yeah, whereas adding an extra level to the gimmick, it made JC Mateu look far more believable rather than just the angry toddler stomping around with a wispy beard. Tala Tonga, not Tama, also, he needed like that to give his presence that little bit more. And then you got the 2 that have been around as part of Solo's MFTs for the longest, being Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. They also just really benefited from it. Also, Tonga Loa, I know you went off with injury, but I'm pretty confident you read some of the nasty internet comments about you, and I'm loving how much you've been working on all your criticism to stop people saying nasty things about you on the internet. It has been noticed at least by one podcast, and well done for coming back with like a fierceness to show people that you are actually, and shout out Ollie, because you always said this about him, but that he's a good wrestler that just happened to be picked on by wrestling crowds.
They turned up twice as well. After 2 different games to like not necessarily throw down, but to say you're next, you're on our list.
Yeah, because there was the Wyatt family, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Wyatt family. So they were definitely making a statement as MFTs are here not to be messed with. And yeah, like I was just saying, they looked like a unit. They looked like they were cohesive together. And I think all 4 of them should just kick out Solo.
Is it Sami, Blaine and Shinsuke Nakamura that they also came out towards?
Yes.
So we tried doing
that was SmackDown.
Yeah.
It all blends into one because it's all in the same venue as well.
Not only that, but we watched a lot of them pretty much back to back as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit wrestling it out now. But.
Well, you did do Raw straight away, so that is a lot in one 3-day stretch.
I watched Raw, then came here.
But though, just again, so much love for everything because AJ Styles also paid a huge amount of tributes to people as well in the match, and it was nice to see the WWE, John Cena and AJ Styles go, well, if wrestling fandom really wants this for these reasons, we're not just going to do it, but we're going to do it with some style, we're going to give it the presence it needs, and I think they sold what they're doing so well. I
liked, I don't know if you saw it, but the post-match thing that
have I seen
Stephanie Valcar was on, and so was Triple H, and all the Aussie crowd was shouting was "We want Edge, we want Edge," which I've looked into, and he is being written out of AEW at the moment, but that is because he's going back to film the next season of his TV show.
Well, also
so he's not actually going to be available to come and wrestle. That's what they say, but
after that though is as always, all options are open, and he's done the thing that he went to AEW to do, is he wanted to go and work with his original tag team partner Christian, and they've done that now. They've had a feud storyline, all that sort of jazz. So I would actually quite like the Christian that's on AEW to come back as that version to the WWE, because I think it would work very well. We don't have a heel that works that way. But I'd also just be happy to have Edge back as well, because I love watching Edge wrestle. He's an interesting guy.
Well, he's still got a lot of his contract deep into 2026. So yeah, that's a lot of people are just saying the reason he's not wrestling is because he's back doing his TV show, and it's exactly what happened last time they went to film his.
Yeah.
What's it? He's in.
I can't remember offhand.
Highlander maybe, or something. It's something that it's now going into its 4th season, and he's one of the main Adam Copeland.
Yes.
Yeah, not the guy from whose brother's in the police then.
No.
That's Stuart Copeland.
Yes. But you also like, we watched Cody get injured so he could go do his film. We've watched Drew get pissed off and injured so he's gone and done his film. I'm loving the way that it's done these days, because you don't need to worry about whether you're getting kicked out of the WWE to take on these projects, because the current management team of WWE understands that Highlander the film, Street Fighter the film, Adam Copeland's series that we can't remember the name of, they know the value.
Manager is on it. I can see her scrolling away trying to find out behind the camera there.
Do you have it? No, she can't find it. But yeah, I love the fact that they know that if wrestlers are working in these other ways, it puts the promo back towards
they've got to make their money somehow as well, because if you're not a main event or a main card wrestler, you don't get paid a lot, and they also have to pay out of their wages. They have to pay for dietitians, gym people, but also their transport.
Yeah.
Which I never knew. It's like, so you only get X amount of money, and then out of that you've got to fly from potentially wherever the last Raw was, which was, I think it was LA or somewhere, wasn't it? To Perth.
And then back again.
And then back again to somewhere else in the States for the next SmackDown or Raw or whatever. So you're constantly buying flights. It's like, that comes out of your pocket. It's not the company that's, making billions for TKO. It's, if I went on a business trip with my job, I'd get expenses, but they don't.
I know that was under Vince that you always had to do that, but I didn't realise it was still a thing.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments if it has changed. If not, then we do feel for you wrestlers, because it can be quite expensive getting around the world.
Especially if you're not getting TV money and you're just, you're
like a jobber, basically.
Or an undercard, or someone that's only gets one TV appearance per month, or kind of things.
Yeah.
Like for instance, The Miz hasn't been in it that often.
But he also, did he come across to Perth?
I don't know, but I'm just using him as, there are people that will pop up once or twice on the TV shows per month, but the rest of the time they're probably still doing.
I mean,
the
that is also why we had a much shortened SmackDown by comparison, because some of the lower cards would have stayed in America instead.
Yeah.
But that's also, like, for some people, that's the chance to go back and see family for 10 days.
Rest your body.
Rest your body too. Right, going back into matches.
The big two.
The big two. So
the
these
Crown
are
Jewels.
the Crown Jewels, indeed. That's
I did like the promo that they made for the belts. Take it from the WWE experiences in Riyadh, and security guards and padded
Well, it's
boxes.
because of how much money those belts are actually worth. It is insane.
Was it something like 250 carats just in diamonds?
Like £21 million that belt is worth, I think, or something like that. It's something silly, but that's one of the main things, because I don't particularly like the belt. You can tell the belt I really like is up there. I don't necessarily like the design of it, but what was nice is hearing Cody last year, being Crown Jewels champion last year, saying that there's just something really special about wearing a belt that is worth that much money.
And the ring as well.
And so
the rings are, they open up. There's a little stash pot. There's me, the old raver guy. That's a big rig. Yes. yes. But yeah, it opens up, but it's all diamonds and silver.
I would rather it open it up and it's a tiny little singing box and it's just Triple H spinning. That would genuinely make me laugh.
Or you open it up and a pair of arms come out and go boing.
Yeet.
We did that last night, didn't we?
Yes, there was a dude
fully yeeted out with
the glasses,
that said
the top.
yeet across the top, but he did look like he had eaten the Samoan werewolf.
But what was really lovely is one of the times we tried to catch his attention, it didn't work, but then as we were leaving,
we both went yeet.
And
over the sound of a band playing as well.
And it was just the genuine, like, because I've had this at festivals wearing my Roman Reigns top or my Jey Uso top, where people do interact with you. And what was really lovely is just he went from looking like sort of surly big guy at a gig to suddenly just massive smile, like I can't believe people are doing, and like saying hello with you.
He was acknowledged.
Or talking about rings on fingers, I did love the fact that when Stephanie had won, it went straight on the finger that she did that with, so that her own celebration also showed off the ring.
Well, you spoilt the.
Well,
but we need to,
we were going to cover it
anyway. So yeah, Stephanie beat Tiffany.
Stephanie beat Tiffany. Now,
but the night before, they were a tag team partnership.
That often happens,
which was quite cool. They worked well together as a tag team, but
I think
against each other, it was a really good match.
I think it's because they're from a very similar era of training. Like Tiffany's been around a little bit longer, but I got to be honest. Like I've seen so many reviews saying it was such a good blending of different styles and like the slightly different statures as well. They made it work. Obviously, the whole place went a bit crazy for the Devil's Kiss.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Because they always go crazy for a Devil's Kiss.
Even the commentators have got in trouble for it.
Well, I had to do that to the manager because even our manager Heidi loves the Devil's Kiss because it's that type of move. It gets everybody.
Yeah.
But no, I thought. So I wasn't sure. I was like, are they going to put a title, like as in the world title, on Stephanie first, and then immediately make a Crown Jewel champion as well?
She's won 5 titles in 15 months since becoming a WWE main eventer. And now she'll probably end up headlining WrestleMania next year.
But she's got the skills to be able to do it.
And the charisma.
Because even though she doesn't have the most fluent English,
it's getting better.
And she knows how to deliver the right short statements.
And what she does is whatever she says in Spanish, she will say in English. So
it's Chilean, isn't it?
Chilean Spanish. But it covers the Latina. It covers both markets.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And I like the fact that to give, just dipping back to the EO thing, I like when she needed to give a very emotional promo. They realised that EO just can't do the same in English that she can do in her native tongue. So they subtitled it, and I actually, even though I didn't know, apart from the subtitles, what she was saying, is I did feel the force and emotion in it, and that's why I think it's good for either Stephanie Valcar or EO or anybody that's a dual language person. Keep up the dual language stuff. We love it. We love hearing the passion.
Suka and Kari, sorry. They argue in Japanese, and it sounds very, very harsh. And
yeah, and it's perfect. Like, I think again, it's something that's really good about this era, and it becoming even more of an international product than it ever was before.
It's global, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's going to be a whole bunch of young ladies over in the Asian continent watching that and going, I could be Io, or I could be Kari, or I could be Asuka.
Same with Latin America.
Exactly.
Stephanie is just at the top of that pyramid of Latinas, South Americans that are coming through. Like TKO have signed AAA, which is Nacho Libre?
You've got to stop saying Nacho Libre. Lucha.
Nacho!
Lord. Terrible
That's
movie.
because that was my first introduction. It's through Jack Black.
Funnily enough, my first introduction to wrestling, which wasn't the Attitude Era WWE, is I watched The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, and that is... What I love is that film is now not the way that wrestling greats have to go, because it was to try and highlight what happened to people after they're gone too long in the ring. And what's lovely is that Kurt Angle, shout out Kurt Angle, love you and love all of your podcasting, is we don't have guys that feel the need to keep going around the indie circuit until they basically pass away, because there's other ways like podcasting, being a after show presenter on the commentary board. There's so many different ways now that you can stop yourself having to wrestle yourself into either being paralysed or into early death.
Or you're playing in a church hall going woo until you're 80.
Yeah, I mean I think that's going to be one of the last ones that has wrestled that late in his life.
Yeah. The only downside I think with the Tiffany Stephanie game was it was only 10 minutes. But I think that is probably because other matches, fights. What do you call them? I should know by now, shouldn't I? But some of them John Cena and AJ Styles overran, but it was worth it.
Well, also it was Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six, was what the manager was saying, but they came in at the end. I got to be honest as well, going back to the MFTs and Wyatt Six, that's an incredibly interesting big tag stable against big tag stable, which all they got to do is bring in, a member of the Samoan family that's female to have a fight with Nikki, and then we've got a very interesting big stable versus big stable. It's been a while since.
It's got to be better than the Street Profits.
Not a fan?
No.
Weirdly
just
though.
Boring.
Weirdly though, Jack, the one that's given us a lot of wrestling opinions, absolutely loves them. So I think it's an age thing, because I love their in-ring work. They are incredible with
They're
big
acrobats.
spots. Exactly. But I don't get the same as you is. I don't find the rest of what they do interesting, but the ones that we find interesting, Jack, who is 17 and a lot younger than us, our manager's son, by the way, he loves the Profits, that's what it's there for. Is there's got to be stuff for us, there's got to be stuff for the kids as well.
Oh yeah.
Right. Lastly, the
last game.
The last game.
The last match. The last fight. The last tickle.
This was everything that I wanted storyline-wise and in-ring work.
Yeah, but I still think it was predictable, because why would you keep the belt on Cody? Because then that just becomes a dominance that, where do you go with the storyline? Making Seth the champion
made much more sense.
Yeah, more sense, because now that solidifies
the vision,
and it also opens it up for better challenges. Because I think if Cody had won, it's like, well, who's he going to fight next to take it off him? Like 2 in a row. It's only the second time it's been a crown jewel, isn't it?
Yeah. So
to have 2 back-to-back wins.
And he had a storming match last year with Gunther for Crown Jewel.
He's had a good year, and he's still the American. Is it
well, they haven't lost their singular
but I
titles.
mean, like, he's so
he's still got that title.
Yeah, but to have back-to-back crown jewels, if they're trying to set it up as an ongoing thing, crown jewel 26, 27, 28, etc., it's like, why would you have Cody this year, next year, and then...
That's the whole point of, like, I wanted it to fall this way. Also, because they call Cody QB1, and Seth's very unhappy with that, this also gives Seth, on paper, the extra accolade for this year that he beat QB1. Could say that he's now QB1 himself.
Watch Raw.
There we go. I think the way that they did it with the turning certain moves into super moves off the turnbuckle, like the crossroads from the top of the turnbuckle, and then I even shouted at Heidi just before it happened. I was like, "He's going to super stomp him! He's going to super stomp him!" And then it was very, very believable. But I also like the fact that there's a little bit of healing going on, where he saw the watch in the corner, and when they did the slow-mo, either they're just incredible at selling, or Cody said to Seth, "No, just punch me in the mouth," because it genuinely looked like, not the reaction, but the actual punch itself. You had the little head.
It's not the first time Cody's taken a smack to the face.
On purpose, to make it look even better, yep.
John Cena turning heel.
Yeah.
That drew blood.
Exactly, I mean, it opened up the hard way, but I thought, like I say, it worked better for the storyline with what they're trying to do with the vision. It works well for Cody as well, because it keeps him doing the undisputed championship battles, which is where he needs to be, because we're getting soon to the point where it's going to be Road to WrestleMania time again, which lasts quite a few months.
The next PLE is the end of November, isn't it? It's War Games.
War Games
in San Diego, I think they said.
Yeah, that makes sense. There might be a minor one like Saturday night main event in between.
Yeah, because it's War Games, and then 2 weeks later it's John Cena's final game.
Yeah, so
fight, match, tickle.
Fight, match, tickle. But yeah, I think, like I say, that worked. But again, a little bit of what wrestling is like is sometimes, because it's a weekly show, 2 weekly shows, and so many regular PLEs, there are certain ones like this that are going to be a little bit more predictable than others. But it's you want, well, not that you want, but you deal with a little bit of predictability, because then it pushes bigger storylines to where you want them to go. So this is actually building the vision from just this slightly weird, stable post-WrestleMania. Suddenly you got him working with people that had tsunami'd him and all this weird stuff.
Well, I will give
Whereas
you
now it's a
one
bit more.
spoiler for Raw. When the Vision come out, they've got their own vision visuals.
Oh.
And it looks slick, and they're obviously, now that Seth won, they've it's solidified them as a unit, and it was what he envisioned. But they've done it. It looks good.
And that's
Watch Raw, man.
Well, I was working. But no, that works because they've given Paul Heyman a new name. He's no longer the Wise Man, he's the Oracle. They gave the stable a name as well, because it took a while for them to be called the Vision itself.
Yeah.
To then give them visuals, the only thing that we're now waiting on is some Vision merch, I would say.
And their own theme tune, because at the moment they're coming on to "Ladies and Gentlemen, my name is," or Seth. Yeah,
the woes. But I don't mind either of the other two Seth theme. But you are right. I think
because the Wyatts have got their own intro.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome.
Yeah, no, I love that too.
I think they have the best aesthetic, but that's because I'm a
metalhead
horror freak.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, I mean, you could have Rob Zombie play them out onto stage, and
you'd probably join in as well.
Exactly. Yeah, he would look right next to Uncle Howdy.
Talking of Rob Zombie, he featured on our radio show.
Yeah.
There is definitely some thievery going on from Rob Zombie from some of our older images. So go back and listen to our radio show, because we talk all about that.
He did.
But talking of Halloween and things like that, next week's podcast is a deep dive into someone who is associated with Halloween in many different ways, isn't it?
Yes.
Someone that's coming to the UK to play Halloween, and it's not Wednesday 13 for a change.
I was going to say.
It's the next level up on weirdos.
So you're going to have to make sure that you tune in for that one. But between this podcast and the deep dive next week, we do have From the Vault, where basically we're going to watch back where Mike gets into an argument with a swan.
Mid-interview. Over a nice picturesque lake in the Snowdonian valleys. It was beautiful.
Hilarious.
A very prominent, well-known band. And like, subscribe, and more importantly, hit that notification bell, because you'll be able to find out when that pod drops later in the week.
I think that's everything. We'll see you for that podcast, but for the main one next week, make sure that you tune in and find out who we're talking about for the Halloween one.
And don't forget to check out our interviews from Killswitch Engage, and more importantly, the Wayne from Hatebreed, because it's a touching interview. It's probably one of the first interviews back for him from having brain surgery. If not the first. We're still trying to work out if that's actually the first time he's gone on camera with press since the thing. So that's a load of stuff for you to check out. All of the details are in the bio, and we will see you next week. Peace.